Now we're going to move into probably for us
the saddest news.
We emotional.
Yes, I was crying all week.
Listen, I couldn't keep myself together. Like you heard me when we were at a broadcast. I was just in disbelief.
It was shocking. That one was the most shocking,
right? Because it was sudden.
You seen the other one coming.
It was coming.
It was coming to be the time.
Yeah,
but. Just tell them. They know. But
farewell to the GOATs.
Yeah.
Candace Parker, basketball legend. We're not even going to qualify it by gender. Retired.
That's the part. Yeah.
This year, as well as you only need to know her by one name.
There's one name only.
Beyonce, Rihanna.
I just learned her last name this year.
Right. There is Marta. Yes. Like when you are on a one name basis, you are a global superstar. Icon. And one of the best to ever do it. Even before we get into them individually, I don't know how much it fits, but the two of them kind of announcing, where Candace retiring and Marta announcing that she's going to retire from international play. To me, they were similar in this regard. They did things in their sport that I don't want to say women didn't do. They didn't do it this well. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. There were just some skills displayed with these two women, whether in basketball, Candace dunking, she could play 5 positions. She can dribble like a guard. She could post you up. Yeah. She could shoot 3 mid-range. Yeah. She could do it all. Lead the fast break.
First positionless player.
First position. She was like, I'll get into my theory on Candace, but she's the first positionless player.
Yeah.
And she can just do things with the soccer ball that people just didn't do.
Yeah.
Like you can sit on YouTube, which I did, and just watch. Like 15 minutes of like, yeah, this one right here was different.
Yeah, that's different.
Like when you talk about the GOATs of similar to the lady I have on my shirt, is like Marta is just, when you mention the greats in sport.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You have to put her in there. So, just to figure them out together a little bit, but to talk about them individually, we'll start first with Candace Parker. It's weird, I guess, it probably hit me a little differently because we're around the same age. So, if not the same age. So I've seen Candace's entire career.
Right.
And when you talk about somebody being a phenom in high school, a phenom in college, a phenom in the pro, and then have every single accolade you can imagine, back it up. She was high school player of the year, collegiate player of the year, won rookie of the year and MVP in the exact same season. 3-time champ, 3 teams, 3 WNBA championships, like ready.
Yeah.
And credit some things I heard on television. She's one of 4 players to win an NCAA title, an MVP, a finals MVP, and a defensive player of the year in basketball.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're talking about with her. But like you mentioned, she was, we throw around now, especially with the boom in women's basketball, generational, transcendent, all these different titles. Candace Parker was like her counterpart to me. And I don't like doing this, but her counterpart is LeBron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was all the hype.
I would say she's the hype.
The magazine. Back it up. Yeah. The magazine covers, the pressure.
Yeah.
She could, walking into the McDonald's All-American game in the dunking contest and winning.
Yeah.
Whether or not you agree with it, she made all of her dunks. Right. And she did it on a repair ACL. You know what I mean?
Talk about that part. Yeah.
Played for Pat Summitt at Tennessee, brought that program back up to prominence. But it's just, it's hard to talk about just how much Candace means to the game, because, and this is one of those situations where I guess my feelings bleed into my muted excitement of what's going on now, is because Candace's greatness happened when a lot of people didn't pay attention.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't know of a women's basketball player who has been as disrespected as Candace Parker. Like I said, she got cut from the 2016 Olympic team, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Crazy.
In 2019, some anonymous poll in the W, they voted her most overrated.
Yeah.
I remember Derek Fisher benched her in a playoff game
Yeah.
randomly, only for her to go to Chicago the next season and win a championship. Like it's she's one of those, and it made me sad too because in her Instagram post, she didn't want fanfare, she didn't want the farewell tour, and you know I don't want to psychoanalyze the situation, but it kind of felt like she didn't. She was like, I'm a little bit too real for this, and I don't want like the fake love that y'all couldn't give me when
I was in my prime.
When I was in my prime, when I was doing it, y'all wasn't loving me like that.
Yeah.
But I think, or at least I hope she feels, just looking at all of the players talking about, I play basketball because of Candace Parker. We mentioned Asia Wilson, like tried to recruit her to Tennessee and got the opportunity to play for her. Even Angel Reese mentioned she wanted to wear number 3 in Chicago because of Candace Parker, but didn't want to be disrespectful because, you know, now they may retire the jersey. But I hope she feels everything that she meant to women's basketball. And even, you know, a personal story for me, her decision to go back to Chicago, I shouldn't say go back, but go to Chicago and leave LA was like the linchpin for me to start the media stuff. It's been in the back of my head for a long time, but you know, you're scared, you're nervous, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do. And I remember Candace mentioning is like, it's okay to walk into something different and a restart. And I'm like, if she can leave LA, she's comfortable, her kid is in school, all this stuff, and choose to take a risk, not knowing she ended up winning a championship. You know what I mean? I'm like, if she can do that, this is small potatoes. And I remember my first like on camera stand up was about Candace Parker and her winning. It sure was. So it was like, even for me, I thank her for just existing and being great in the space that she's in, that no matter the age, it doesn't have to be somebody younger. We're the same age. She's still out here inspiring women, inspiring Black women, just to be yourself. And you know, I hope she just feels it. You know what I mean? And there's a video that we'll put that encapsulates kind of, she already knew. Like, that's how intuitive she was about her career and her legacy.
I think sometimes you don't have to tell your story, time will. And I think that, like, that's something that I've lived by. And I think everybody up here has had that moment where they felt like they have to tell their side of the story. And you don't have to. Like, just put your head down, continue to work, do what's right, be a good person, work hard, give energy, and like the world will give back to you. So I think that's my message with all of this is like, you don't have to yell from the rooftops who you are or what you do. Like, let time tell, and just enjoy the moment.
But congratulations to her on an incredible career. You'll see
you
her.
Said it all.
my dad.
You was passionate about Candace. It's because y'all got the same name.
We got the same name. We both Ace. You know, a lot of people are Ice or Y or whatever. But like, I've seen her entire like. You grow up with a player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Because in the same realm, we're not the same age, but. As far as seeing her whole career, that was like the first player from as far as college you got to see on TV. Like we got to see I got to see those growing up, like the Tennessee game. Like I said, I was a UConn. I'm gonna lie, I was a UConn girl. I was like, well, I like Pat. I like Candace. What she's doing? It was that excitement. It was the first time that you just really got any type of access as far as like seeing them, because they were playing those games. They were on TV. You seen Candace. Like, Candace was really outside. Well, I mean, I guess you had like Lisa Leslie growing up too.
But no, you're absolutely.
But she was the first face, household name, women's basketball player. Like, my sister didn't care about sports, but my sister would have known. She knew Candace Parker. You know, it was just that type of impact that Candace Parker had. And when, like I said earlier, the positionless play, like her you put her anywhere on the court.
Dominate. Not
guard.
good. Dominate.
Yeah, like, Candace bringing the ball up the court, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, get down there. But then I'm like, she don't have to. Like, she got it.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
And like you said, maybe she doesn't want the fanfare, but I would have loved. I would have loved
it too.
I would have loved it.
Especially in this moment for people to actually, because I think a lot of people who've been around the game are so enthusiastic to give the legends their flowers that we didn't do before, because Cheryl Swoops didn't get us a send-off. Lisa Leslie really didn't get one. Tina Thompson really didn't get one. Lauren Jackson really didn't get one. I think the biggest send-off we've had was Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a fight, too.
Yeah.
Definitely
was.
It was a fight to make sure they were acknowledged. Even Simone Augustus, who was, we didn't get to send off Maya Moore. Katie Smith. Like, there were so many legends. Even Becky Hammond. You know what I mean? We didn't get to send her off like she deserved. And I wanted Candace to get that. I wanted her to get it in this moment.
To be fair, and I did think this was going to be Candace's last season.
Oh, for sure.
I think everybody,
and they're going for a 3-peat.
Yeah, I think everybody thought this was going to be Candace's last season. You're going to get the last hoorah, goodbye.
Right.
And she's always played very coy about it. Like, she's not really ever said too much when they come to the, is this your last game conversations that she's had previously. So I think it's very fitting that she went out the way she did, but it breaks your heart.
Right.
Because, like, it just, for me, it feels like, dang, like, the people that you grew up watching and idolizing are
not there.
I'm like what are y'all, baby?
Like, y'all making me a Diana Taurasi fan? Like, wait a minute.
Only GOAT left.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
She's gonna be a topic on our next show.
She gotta be. We gotta go into that.
Yeah.
But all right, question for you though. Maya Moore. I'm sorry, I'm still heartbroken on that one. Candace Parker.
Yeah.
We doing an all-time GOAT starting 5. Okay. Candace making the roster?
For me?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's the roster for you? What position you putting? Or are we playing positionless?
Ooh.
Because I think it would be so hard for me and the players that I know I love growing up, and I could put in my GOAT list, it would be so hard for me to put everybody in exact positions.
Ooh. Because I gotta name them now?
No. We gonna put that one, but she's on the roster.
She's definitely on my roster.
Fair.
She's definitely on my roster.
Yeah, I think she needs to be on everybody's.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy too that this happened after our conversation last time. We was like, go watch Candace Parker collegiate highlights. You was so passionate.
I was so passionate because I'm like, y'all don't remember.
No, and now y'all not gonna get to
now
see
you can't
it. Because we had already said, like, you're never going to see Maya Moore again. Like, you're never going to see that. But
they were different.
They were definitely
and she was different. And even, they've been playing a lot of her clips, which I'm happy about. And, people get to see her. She's on CBS, TNT, all that good stuff. So has transitioned into a whole other career. But, yeah, Google Candace Parker's highlights.
Please.
I must have felt it in the air coming. That's why I was so passionate.
Yeah, you was passionate because you was like, no, like y'all need to see this.
Y'all need to see this. Like, yeah.
But Candace, it was a beautiful career.
Yeah.
One for the books. Like, that's when you're going to hear about her for years to come. For sure. She's never going to be a player that's forgotten. For sure. She's one of the people that paved the way so we could have the superstars that we're able to get now. Correct. It doesn't happen without Candace Parker. Like, you had to have a player to sustain as I know everybody's, on the WNBA's bandwagon now, but it had to be sustained. Yeah. Candace Parker was a part of that. Yeah. Whether you were a big fan, a pseudo fan, whatever, you made sure you knew her name and that you caught a glimpse of what she can do in the court. Like, you can't deny that part. Right. Yeah. Shout out to you, Candace. Shout out to Candace. It is heartbreak. It really is. Yeah. And it was so shocking. So other one was not as shocking. Yeah. I think we all feel it coming. Yeah. The GOATs, they're getting older. They're leaving us. It's okay though. Marta announced her retirement from international play. After the World Cup last year, I mean, I knew we knew she didn't have 4 more for another World Cup. She had said, "This is my last World Cup. Like, this is the last time you'll see Marta at a World Cup." If Brazil gets the 2027,
She gonna lace him up one more time.
No. Listen though, here's the thing about Marta.
Uh-huh.
Marta could be 50 years old,
Mhm.
hopping on one leg with her hands high behind her back. I'm putting Marta on my team.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, it's different. Like you said, with Candace Parker,
different.
she's different. I got the stats.
Go ahead.
Because I can't mess them up.
Go ahead.
6-time FIFA World Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
2-time Olympic silver medalist. Brazil's all-time goal scorer,
Mhm.
116 goals. That's male or female.
Mm-hmm.
World Cup all-time leading goal scorer with 17 goals in a World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's went to 6 World Cups. This last one was 6. And I need Google. I need Google.
Not you going up on
Listen,
Google.
I need Google. When somebody type in who got the most goals in World Cup history, I need y'all to put Marta, because it's man or woman. I'm just saying.
Put some respect.
The GOAT. Your GOAT's GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like when people be like, oh, Marta is like a cop-out GOAT. No, because she's the GOAT.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
she's your GOAT's GOAT. Like, whoever
Right.
your favorite player is, they're not gonna say best players all time and not mention Marta.
For sure.
That's just what it is.
For
And
sure.
the retirement's not a shock.
Mm-hmm.
She's 38.
Yeah.
She's 38, wrapping up on a beautiful career.
Yeah.
She's more than just soccer.
For
She's more
sure.
than just women's soccer.
For sure.
I think she started a conversation to put women's soccer in the position, because women's soccer right now is really it's global. It's blowing
For sure.
up.
And she was like the first global superstar.
Yes.
Like one of those names you
Yes.
you don't know soccer, you have not
Yes.
watched a match,
Yes.
you know Marta.
Yeah, on and off the field, she changed the game.
Right.
You know. My favorite thing about Marta is the post-game match interview.
Yeah.
In Portuguese.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm crying. I'm
You was
sobbing.
feeling it, yeah.
It doesn't. After the World Cup, I said I'm sobbing.
Right.
What is she talking about? I'm sobbing. Though.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna get the translation later. It's
Right.
She plays.
We'll
with so
get
much.
it. We're putting it in
Yeah.
here because people need to feel
That 2019 one.
Yes.
It's different.
It just gets you.
Listen,
Even I was inspired. I'm like, yes, soccer.
I
Yeah.
get chills thinking about like
Yeah.
even now though, she's retiring from international, but she's still playing in Orlando.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna do a Sinclair and do another year in Orlando next year.
Right.
I won't lie. I would love to see it. I would have
Yeah.
loved. I think Copa America is next year. I would like to see her play for Brazil one
Mhm.
last time. And I wouldn't be able to see it, but we don't go to that.
Right.
She a generational talent. 20-year career.
Yeah.
Where she's never slowed down.
Yeah.
Even now, she's still a threat. You're still gonna respect the fact that she's out there.
Right.
I don't care that she's 38.
Right.
She's still able to score goals. She's still able to dribble past you. She's
Right.
still able to be Marta.
Yeah.
Like,
Goats just do stuff different.
Yeah,
like,
like,
don't get it
it
twisted.
don't matter the
I may not
age.
move as fast, but I'm still me.
yeah, exactly. And then there's a lot of conversation if the She Believes Cup was like, oh, that's the last of Marta. Will
Mhm.
she make the roster for
The Olympics.
The Olympics.
You got to put her on the
You
team.
have
Like,
to.
what are you doing?
You have to.
Yeah.
Like, if
And
to
that'll be a
me-
perfect send off.
Yeah, if to me, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, well, it's about talent. It's about talent. Like I said, 50 years old, hopping on one
Right.
leg. I'm taking Marta.
Right. This is disrespect to the legends. Like,
Like, I
I
don't
can
like
understand if they were like all-star level.
Yeah.
We talking the best players to ever play a
To
sport.
ever play it. Yeah.
These aren't just,
yeah.
everyday good players and elite players. These are the
Exactly.
greatest to ever do it. I did watch a video on Secret Base. They did a little documentary on Marta's career.
Mhm.
But she kind of existed again in that same kind of time frame where the spotlight that women's sports on now, we sound like broken records. You wished it was there during
Mhm.
Marta's peak
Yeah.
because you would get it.
You would get it.
Even more so because
Yeah.
this woman did things
Yep.
that women's soccer
Right.
players
Before
didn't do.
there was an NWSL, there
Right.
was still a Marta.
Right.
That overseas, go watch those highlights.
Right.
Go that is peak Marta.
Right.
That's what you grow up when you're watching blurry YouTube clips, but you're still like fascinated.
By her skill,
Yes,
just the team and everything. And it kind of got into too of the push now for so long, to the extent the U.S. women's team, the soccer team, they had to invest to get good.
Yeah.
And now it caused all the rest of the teams in the world to up their game so they can compete. And now you can reasonably say that the world is caught up.
Yeah.
And the same thing could be said for Brazil as well, is that the investment needs to come to the team, because you had the greatest player. And if there was extra push then, we would have seen it even more.
It wasn't even just her too. Like
they had GOATs on the team.
Yes, she was playing with Christiani. Like,
it was
beautiful. Like, y'all know what's happening.
You know, I was go back to basketball. Not Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie on it. No, it was Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper on the same team.
Oh, right. Like, what are we doing?
What are you doing? Who cheated?
Like, y'all, it's so sad to see. Like I said, it's just sad to see the people that you grow up like, oh my God, like this is so. I got a Martha story for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, you know I always say I'm not asking for autographs for the faint of heart.
Right.
So I
was
trying
to be media.
Listen. It wasn't even that. I was at a game. I was full at a game, like civilian.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm always like, I don't ask too many people. Like, especially in WSL, there's not too many people. Like, the list is Marta, Sydney LaRue, and right about now, that's probably about. I might ask Kristen Press. Kristen, like, we kind of close in age, so I feel weird about it. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Marta. This is a couple. It's probably first game of the season. Orlando played Racing Louisville. I was there. After the game, I was like, all right, how I'm about to play this? Yeah. I'm about to get this autograph. Had the Brazil jersey on, because I'm like, I don't care who else is. Marta's here. I'm a Marta fan. After the game's over, I'm like, okay, so they go out. Like, in Racing, like, where they walk through the stadium, like, to get to the locker room. So I'm, like, walking around. I was with my friend. I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's go around here. I had picked up something at the shop. I was killing time because they were just lingering. I get around there and I was like, okay, I'm about to time this perfectly. Right. I seen them walking up. Right. I get around there. There's an older couple. The husband sees my jersey. He goes, oh, she's got a Marta jersey on. That's cool. Like, he says it to his wife, and I was like, oh yeah, like, thanks. His wife, his wife goes, oh my God, you just missed Marta. Oh my God. And I went, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, you just missed her. You snooze, you lose. Candace, my foot went out. I almost tripped the old lady. Because one, now was heartbroken. And she
throwing shade too.
She said, you snooze, you lose. I almost tripped her. I love old people. I wouldn't do it. But I almost tripped her. I was heartbroken. And I just need you to know, like, if you see me, sign the jersey. That's
now, do you want a signature, or are you going to go in for the selfie?
I'm going to get the signature so I can have it forever and frame it. Okay. That's all I need.
But you need the picture, you can have it digital, you can print it out.
I'm going to have both. Okay. I need both, and I want a conversation.
Okay.
And I need a motivational speech as well, preferably in Portuguese. I will translate it later. It's the passion, Candace.
Not you dreaming of this whole interaction.
It's the whole interaction. I'm sorry. But yeah, that lady made me mad.
Sorry, Marta. You didn't set the bar way too high for this interaction.
You did.
You snooze, you lose.
She said you snooze, you lose. Candace, I lost it. I said, all right.
Now, I will say my feelings would have been hurt.
I was hurt. Yeah. A whole drive back, I was hurt.
Yeah.
I said, you know what?
But I'm not knocking it, because I'm still not at a place where I wouldn't go up to Candace Parker and ask for an autograph, because I'd be too scared. I'll admit that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't even know for sure that she was going to be over there. Yeah. Her confirming that she, one, walked past, and two, that I missed it, is what did it for me. Because I was just walking around. I was like, oh, I think this is like, I think right. Like, we might cross paths.
Right.
Type thing. But I didn't even know if we were going to be able to get over there. I stumbled upon it. I've been to that stadium several times, and I've never tried to meet anybody.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not asking for autograph, picture, conversation for a fan of heart for nobody.
We got to get some courage.
But I was like, it's Marta.
Right.
Like, and I don't think we're going to get one more year in Orlando from her.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see how this season goes.
Yeah.
But
just shout out. I mean, there's not much.
Yeah.
We've
I'm
said.
Sorry, I talk too much.
Oh, no, you're fine. We've talked as much as we can. I mean, these are two of the greatest athletes.
Yeah.
sans gender who have ever played their sport.
Yeah.
And it's like the end of an era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it end of the era
End of an era.
that we grew up with.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
It's okay though. We got some young ones we can cheer for. It just I guess the feeling is a little different, like when you old enough to be their parent or like
right.
they
that's
older
little
cousin.
sis.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I don't like
hey
that
niece.
too much.
Like-
Yeah. Like that's my little niece.
At least they were Marta and Candace
Yeah.
are like my peers in age. But now I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
niece.
Right.
Good job.
Like,
Yeah, but
I can't do that.
just congratulations on a just tremendous careers
Yeah.
and like just being the best for 20 years.
Yeah.
Which is, unheard of. Only a few could do it, and those two did.
Yeah.
Candace Parker and Marta. But we'll move along. We'll survive.
We'll cry in the beginning so we can smile at the end.
Oh my God.
As Marta says.
We're gonna end it on
We'll
that
end
note.
it with that.
É querer mais, é treinar mais, é se cuidar mais, é estar pronta para jogar 90 e mais 30 minutos, quantos minutos for. É isso que eu peço para as meninas. Não vai ter uma formiga para sempre, não vai ter uma Marta para sempre, não vai ter uma Cristiane. E o futebol feminino depende de vocês para sobreviver. Então pense nisso, valorize mais. Chore no começo para sorrir no fim.